So we're going to take a quick look at how to calculate nominal GDP, real GDP, GDP deflator, and something equivalent to a consumer price index, that is a fixed quantity, base year quantity price index. So we imagine we have data as given by here, so 3 years. We have the price of bread, 3, 4, and 6, and quantity of bread produced in the economy, 100, 120, 110. We have the price of circuses, 10, 8, 7, and the quantity of circuses, 50, 100, and then 200. So we have nominal GDP for 2012 is the price times the quantity of bread plus the price times the quantity of circuses, and that equals 800. Nominal GDP for 2013 would be the price of bread times the quantity of bread plus the price of circuses times the quantity of circuses, and that equals 1280. The nominal GDP for 2014 then is 6 times 110 plus 7 times 200 for 2016. If we want to compute real GDP, one way to do that is to use 2012 prices. So we have constant prices. So we have the price of bread at 3 and the price of circuses at 10. And then we see how quantities have evolved over time, weighting the quantities by the same prices all the time. So we use, in some sense, the same value for the different quantities that are produced. So for 2012, we get, of course, 800, the same as before, since that's exactly the same as nominal GDP. For 2013, we have real GDP of 1360. For 2014, real GDP of 2330. We can then look at the GDP deflator, which we define as the nominal value of GDP divided by the real value of GDP, where the real value is measured using constant year prices. So for 2012, we have 800 divided by 800. We always multiply these kinds of indices by 100 to turn them into an index that starts in the base year at 100. So we have 100. For 2013, we have then real GDP, or nominal at 1280 and real at 1360. So we have a GDP deflator of 94. And then for 2014, we have 2060 as nominal GDP, real GDP is 2330, so we have 88.4. So notice that the GDP deflator is going down. And notice when we look at our prices up here, the price of circuses is going down while the price of bread is going up. So we have one price going down, one price going up. In the GDP deflator's case, in effect, we're looking at how prices change, and we're weighting the changes in prices by the quantities. And since the quantity of circuses is going up while its price is going down, the GDP deflator will give more weight to that decline in price than to the rise in price that's happening with the price in bread. The rise in the price of bread is happening, but the quantities of bread purchased are sort of staying roughly the same, and so its weight isn't changing very much as we go along. So the GDP deflator overall then is going down. So in effect, the prices for the system, for the whole thing, are going down, and that's one reason why we have nominal GDP being lower than real GDP, because on the whole the price level is going down. Let's take a look at a price index. So we could use 2012 quantities as weights, and then again we always normalize the price index so that it turns into 100. So one way to normalize is to use the weighted level of prices for 2012 as a kind of denominator when we're computing the CPI. So the CPI for 2012 is, of course, just going to be 3 times 100 plus 100 times 50. 10 times 50. But the interesting thing is to look at the CPI for 2013. Now we have the prices that have changed. Notice we weight the prices by the same quantities, 150, and just by chance we end up with 800 over 800 times 100, so that's equal to 100. CPI for 2014, the prices have changed. Notice that we weight them still by the same weights, 150. And so now we have 950 over 800, so the CPI price index goes up to 118. So now our price index, this price index is rising, and that's because this price index, remember what it does is it has fixed weights that are the quantities in 2012. So the price of bread rises and it has a weight of 100. The price of circuses is falling, but its weight is only 50. So the price that's rising, the price of bread doubles, and it has a higher weight. It has a weight of 100 compared with the weight of circuses, which is only 50. So even though the price of circuses goes down by 30%, since it doesn't have a big weight in this consumer price index, the price index is weighted by the 2012 quantities, then overall prices are rising. So we have two different indices, the CPI index and then the deflator index. They're going in opposite directions. That's reflecting the fact that the prices of the only two commodities we have, bread and circuses, are also going in two directions.